Hello citizens and welcome back. This is our match reaction for Leipzig 1, Man City 1 in the Champions League. So make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe as well, and let's jump into it. So match preview, I expected this lineup. In fact, I called the lineup exactly how Pep put it out there. It was Ake on the left, Diaz in the middle, Akanji in the middle alongside him, Walker on the right. Midfield was Rodri, Bernardo for De Bruyne, and Gundogan on the left of him. Up front, Mahrez, Grealish, Haaland. That's how it started. And to be honest with you, for this one, I more wanted the performance than a result because I do expect us to beat Leipzig at home, but I wanted a good performance in this one. Kind of performance we put in against Forest as well because we've not seen many of them recently, and I think we need to get back to our best. We're at the tail end of the season and we need to start performing week in, week out, and this was a good opportunity for us to show that we're heading in the right direction. And in the first half, I can't really have any complaints. I thought City were phenomenal. I can't mark anyone down whatsoever. I think everyone was brilliant. They did their job. The passing was slick. It was all smooth. It was all fluid. You know, everyone did their role. You had Walker bombing up and down the line. Ake as well on the left-hand side was doing it. Grealish and Mahrez were attacking the fullbacks. Haaland was making run after run after run. Yes, he wasn't getting the ball, but he was still making all them runs as well. He was dropping deep every now and then. You know, Gundogan, nice and slick on the ball too. Nice turns. Lovely through ball for Mahrez for the goal. And, you know, it was all working fine. And when we got the goal, we deserved it because we've had something like 75% possession. Leipzig couldn't get the ball. Every single counter was snuffed out by Akanji, Rodri or Diaz, who were phenomenal in the middle. It was a perfect first half. We slowed the game down, controlled it. You know, it wasn't as smooth as the Forest game, but we did everything we needed to do away from home in the Champions League. That's how you got to perform. Kill the game and accept a boring match if you're going to come out as winners. And that's what we look like doing at half-time. But once Mahrez, by the way, it was a fantastic finish by Mahrez. But once we got that goal by Mahrez, we kind of eased off a little bit in the second half and we let Leipzig get back into it. You know, and it was just disappointing to watch because in the second half, there's a lot of sloppiness. Grealish, his passing went a little bit away with Rodri as well. Bernardo, his touches were off. Mahrez was trying to do flicks. Grealish was trying to do flicks. It just wasn't happening in that second half. And we let Leipzig get back into it. And their goal for me was disappointing for two reasons. One, Diaz let the player get above him. Yes, he's got hold of him. Yes, he's climbed on top of him a little bit. And should that be a free kick? It doesn't really matter because last season or the season before, Diaz doesn't let him do that. Diaz is strong and he wins that header 100%. He doesn't let himself get climbed on. And for me, Ederson, I don't even know what he's doing. I've got to watch it back, but I'm pretty sure Ederson just watches it in no man's land, even though it's falling in the 6-yard box. Ederson has to do better. Diaz has to do better. It's poor, poor goal. And after that, we tried to get back into it again, but we'd lost the momentum. We lost our fluidness. And we couldn't. And I think both teams are going to settle for the 1-1 because going back to the Eithad, I'd expect City to win. But Leipzig will know. All they have to do is sit back, defend for the first half, hit us in the second half. That's what every team's doing against us at the moment. And it's working every single time. You know, they take the chance, they get something from us because we don't create enough chances or take our chances we do create to punish them. And that's what this game's all about. It's a tale of two halves. First half, we had all the possession. We created very few chances, didn't really do much on the ball. They had very little possession. In the second half, bit half and half possession-wise, they had created a couple of chances and they took one. That's it. That's the rundown of the game right there. And you could go back to so many games this season that have happened like that because I think we fail when we control the ball like that, like we saw against Forest. When we control so much of the possession, when we have like 40, 50 minutes of just the ball and the opposition can't get hold of it, just don't do enough with it. We're just going side to side, backwards too much. We don't do enough with the ball. When other teams have 10, 15 minutes of possession against us, they're just so direct. They go over the top. They go out wide. You know, they try and get the ball into the box. They try and get shots on target. We just don't seem to do it with the possession we have. And that's what hurts us so many times. So this game just falls in the category of typical City. That's what we've seen this season. Just typical the way we played. That being said, you know, I had a couple of people in the watch along saying Pep needs to go. Disagree with that one. I think that's crazy because I don't know who you get in. I do think Pep needs to sort things out, though. I don't think we've got the squad depth that some people claim because I've seen that a lot as well recently. I'll say after these 2 11s, we don't. We have 1 11 and 3 or 4 good players to go alongside it because on the bench today, we had 4 players from the youth team alongside Foden, Ortega, and Gomez. And then we had Carson on the bench, our third choice goalkeeper. We don't have 2 world-class 11s. We don't have that anymore. We've let players go this season and we've not immediately replaced them. And that is hurting us. You know, Zinchenko, Jesus, Sterling, Cancelo, we're not been replacing these players. And it is going to hurt us later on in the season if we can't keep clean sheets, because we need to keep clean sheets. That's 6 games away from home in a row now. We've not kept a clean sheet. It's not good enough, especially at this time of the season. If you want to win the league, if you want to win the Champions League, you have to keep clean sheets. Even away from home, it's just not good enough. So disappointing result. But what I'm not down on really, because like I said, I expect us to beat them at the Etihad. You just don't want it to be as close as it is, because like I said, they can hurt us on the counter-attack. They've got good players. They've got Nkunku. They've got Werner. Yes, Werner can't hit a barn door in the Premier League, but he's still got pace. And what did we struggle against? Pace. I would have liked a nice little cushion. I would have liked a clean sheet. 1-0 would have been perfect going into the Etihad. But it's not the case. Another thing I want to talk about before it ends is Pep substitutions. He made 0 substitutions today. They made 5. Pep has to, even though we've not got the squad depth, even though he's concerned about some of the players on that bench, he still has to make substitutions at key parts of the game, because too many players in that second half, Mahrez, Grealish, Rodri as well, Gundogan, you know, even Haaland wasn't effective because they wouldn't give him the ball. All these players could have been replaced, but instead, he's just let it go on. He's done nothing about it, and of course, we created nothing further. But if he'd made a couple of changes, something else might have bounced, a bit more energy. I think that's where Pep's going wrong. He just needs to, I'm not saying make 5 subs, but make 1 sub a little bit sooner than he normally would. Not in the 87th minute. And don't bring Alvarez on in the 89th minute when we're losing or we're drawing and we're desperate for a goal. Bring him on in the 60th minute. Bring someone else on the 70th. I don't know. Mix up a little bit. Be a bit more less predictable. That's what Pep is always saying. Be unpredictable. But be unpredictable with the substitutions, because I know exactly what he's going to do every single game with the subs. We all do. That's the one that's another thing that Pep needs to learn about. I'm not going to call it disappointing. It's expected at this point. It's predictable. So yeah, that's it. 1-1 against Red Bull Leipzig. Look, it's not the end of the world. It's not a bad result. I would have taken it before the game. But after the first half, I wouldn't have taken it. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to accept it, move on. We'll play them again in 3 weeks at the Etihad. We've got more important games, in my opinion, coming up, because I don't think that Leipzig game is as important as some of these Premier League matches. So onward we go, and we take it. You know, it's not a defeat. It's not a loss. The players can take a little bit of confidence in that, a little bit of heart. And yeah, let's go. Thanks for watching as always. Thanks for checking out. Make sure to hit the like button. Oh, before I go, my man of the match for me was Bernardo. He was absolutely everywhere. Right back, left back, centre half, midfield, forward, out wide. Bernardo was incredible. First half, second half. He's amazing. I love him. I love Bernardo. And it looks like he's getting back to his best as well. And that's only a good thing for us, because we're going to desperately need him going into these last few months. So yeah, hit the like button, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.